neighbor, a country of plenty.
Several adjoining communities from where fishermen access premise fuel for their. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As my honorable colleague asked his question that people are smuggling and hoarding, and what are we doing? I made mention that we're doing installation, and this installation, one will ask that are we saying all this while we've not been monitoring the supply of the premise fuel? Yes, but it isn't efficient. And so now we're coming in with a more efficient one. That when I'm even in the office, I can read the truck that is loading from shore to the landing beach and the quantity that will be in the drum or the tank. I will know whenever a fisherman draws a premise fuel from the dispensing, it will inform me. And so we are going to do the automation, which will be the magic for eradicating of the smuggling and then the hoarding. Thank you.
Very well. Honorable Member, why? What? Come again?
I have a follow-up question.
No, you don't have that. We move to you upper. You have a water fisheries.
Mr. Speaker, I'm the deputy ranking to the committee. I have a follow-up question.
No problem. No problem. You don't have that mandate. So we move to question number 909. 909, and it stands the name of Saudai, Honorable Roxanne Nelson Kwame Dafiamapo. That's how I couldn't pronounce it.
Mr. Speaker, may you live long.
Honorable, you may ask your question. Please. Let's have order in the house, please.
Mr. Speaker, may I seek your leave to amend a portion of the name of the town in the question? It's actually spelled Tango Sarah Alpha Nancy Alpha Kilo Papa Echo, and that is Chanakwe. So it is not Bawakwe. It is Tango Sarah Alpha Nancy Alpha Kilo Papa Echo. Mr. Speaker, thank you. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture Development what steps the ministry is taking to establish an aquaculture and fish farm in Tongo-Chanakwe in Southern District. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, since the colleague honorable member has corrected the name of the town, when I get there, I wouldn't want to repeat the wrong name that has been inserted here. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development is implementing the Aquaculture for Food and Jobs program, under which educational and security institutions.
Honorable members, there's so much noise in the house. Please. Honorable Bongo.
Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development is implementing the Aquaculture for Food and Jobs program, under which educational and security institutions, distressed fish farmers, and youth groups are supported to establish and operate aquaculture farms. The ministry will advise that any interested youth group in Tongo should contact the Regional Fisheries Office in Ho for the application procedure and other formalities. On approval, officers will conduct an inspection of the proposed site to determine the appropriate holding facility. Fishing input support, like fingerlings and fish feed and extension officers, will be given. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Yes. I shouldn't allow him any further question.
Mr. Speaker, a very friendly follow-up question. Mr. Speaker, the Minister informed the House that youth groups, I want to find out if individuals who are interested and are capable of maintaining some of these funds could also be beneficiaries of the program. Youth groups. So I want to ask if individuals like myself, if I could, if you want to apply, an individual can benefit under the program. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister. What's your problem?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yes, we said institutions and youth groups or any other groups, but individuals are also encouraged to do it, because the thinking is that when individuals also do, you have also a way of employing other people. So individuals are encouraged to take up. Thank you.
Oh, I thought your friend has asked you.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I just want to commend the Honorable Minister. For we had premix issues recently, but her intervention has encouraged the regular supply of premix to my area. So I want to thank her. We are grateful.
See, he's a practical minister, eh?
And the Arbor motors, we are so grateful. But we need more for my people in Germany and Agorake and Chanakwe.
Honorable Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we have to complement each other. And I am happy that my good friend has said right here in this house that this government is not discriminatory. That the Arbor motors came and it was not shared in MPP strongholds, but he got such a quantity and he himself did not hide them, but he showed them openly. And today, I'm happy, Mr. Speaker, that he is commending the minister for ensuring that his people, the people of the Volta region, the people of his constituency, the fishermen in Volta region benefited from the Arbor motors that the government imported. This testimony must reflect in the records and reflect so properly. And I thank him for doing that. Honorable Minister, you have done well, proving that this government is a government for all. Thank you so much.
Yes, Honorable Leader. I'm dealing with leaders.
Mr. Speaker, as he compliments the minister, we thank the minister for doing that. But at the same time, Honorable Shariaite did same for him in his constituency, and he sent plenty of Arbor motor to his constituency to convince the people to vote for him. So Mahama did well, Nanatu has done well. So same thing.
No problem. That is good governance.
Mr. Speaker, I need to respond to her.
Oh no,
Mr. Speaker, that is true. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I'm confirming what she said. That is true. And I said it right here in this parliament. That Honorable Sherry Aite, in distributing the Arbor motors, brought some to Ifutu. I got it. And yes, gave it to me. I said it for the record. Mr. Speaker, that was done. And there's no doubt. And I'm also saying that Akufo-Addo government has not abandoned the people of Volta region. The fishermen are benefited. So there's no problem.
No problem. No problem. Honorable Bodu.
Mr. Speaker,
Honorable, are you a leader?
The deputy majority leader.
No. Honorable, I was giving the opportunity to only leaders. You are not a leader. No. Honorable Bodo, senior, respectfully, let's move on.
I will do what?
Let's move on. Take your seat, let's move on. So we move to question number 968. 968. And the question stands in the name of a member for Pru East. Pru East. Honorable Dr. Kwabena. Yes, my brother.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I have the permission of my senior colleague, Honorable Dr. Kwabena, to ask this particular question on his behalf.
Your leave granted.
Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, I would like to ask the Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture Development what policy initiatives are in place to develop and modernize fishing practices on the Volta Lake. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Ministry, through the Fisheries Commission, is currently undertaking a canoe freight survey to register operational canoes and issue canoe identification cards. The core management policy for the fisheries sector would also be implemented across inland fishing communities around the Volta Lake as part of measures to enhance fisheries management among resource users. The Fisheries Scientific Survey Division is leading activities for inland fisheries data collection for policy decisions. The Ministry will soon establish a monitoring, control and surveillance center at the Kwando Toko to enforce compliance with fisheries regulations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We now take the last question from Karachi East again. Honorable Wisdom Gidisu. Yes, Honorable. Let's hear you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture Development what steps the Ministry is taking to supply fishing nets and outboard motors to fisher folks in Karachi constituency at subsidized prices. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, fishers from the Karachi East constituency will benefit from sharing nets under the Fishing Input Support Scheme to provide access to authorized inputs for sustainable fisheries. It is noted that fishers in the Karachi East constituency applied and received 20 units of 40 horsepower outboard motors through the Member of Parliament in 2020. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to thank the Minister for this assurance. But also like to find out from her when specifically should the people of Karachi if we expecting these things, whether next year or this year, or it has been captured in the budget, because it's key to them and they are so dead in need of these inputs. So I want to know when should they be expecting this. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The assurance I want to give to my colleague member is that we will be observing the closed season next month. And so we're going to start the sensitization. And as we start the sensitization, we'll roll out the distribution of all these inputs which are already in my possession. Thank you.
Very well.
The last one.
Wisdom.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The last one.
Okay.
We also want to thank her for this too, but we also like to know the criteria the ministry is using for this supply, whether the group should apply or the interval that they should apply, number of people in a group, how often this is to be released. I want to know the criteria. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, every fishing community or landing beach has a chief fisherman. And so we are working closely with the chief fishermen to get us the list of members of the community. And it is based on that we are going to do the distribution, since we don't know them directly. Thank you.
Very well. Honorable Minister, on behalf of the House, I'd like to thank you. You have attended upon the House to answer 5 separate questions from members. We wish you well in your ministry. You are hereby discharged. Yes. Honourable Member, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The first 3 questions on today's order paper stand in my name. And the minister responsible for trade was supposed to come here and answer those questions. Mr. Speaker, I want to make reference to our standing orders 63. And with your permission, I want to read. A minister shall not take more than 3 weeks to respond to a question from the House. These questions appeared at the last meeting. And at the beginning of this meeting, this is the second time these questions appeared again. Yet the minister is not here to respond to the questions. I want to draw your attention to this important issue because if we ourselves do not respect our standing orders, this is the kind of situation we find ourselves in. And so,
you want to know why?
I want to find out why
Because you have not been written to.
the minister failed to appear to answer these very important questions. The Minister of Trade and Industry in particular. And to also find out whether provision will be made for these questions to be answered in the coming week. Thank you.
Very well. Honourable Member, I believe our standing order 63, which is enjoining the minister not to take more than 3 weeks to respond to a question from a member, I think will be in reference to a situation whereby you don't hear anything from the minister. But if the minister, for whatever reason, has written to the House, that due to unforeseen circumstances, he may not be able to respond to it, then I think this particular order we are raising may not suffice. In any case, my understanding is that the minister has written to the House, has written to both caucuses, the minority caucus and the majority caucus, as well as the table, that is unavoidably engaged somewhere and as such may not be able to come to the House to respond to your questions. I believe the leadership and table will rearrange an appropriate time for him to come and respond to the questions. So at this time, we may turn back to our order paper, item number 5. Item number 5. As we announced here yesterday that tomorrow we may not be sitting, we are therefore taking the business statement for the ensuing week, that is next week. We are taking it today. So may I respectfully invite the deputy leader, who is now the acting leader, to present the business statement for the ensuing week.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for this treasure space to present to the plenary the work of your committee, which outlines the
Honourable member
for the ensuing week. The Speaker, it has, as you have rightly announced, it has become necessary for this to be done today because of your announcement of yesterday. And again, also, just for the records, I stand in for the chair of the committee, who is the majority leader and Minister of Parliamentary Affairs, because he is unavoidably absent, engaged in some parliamentary business outside of the jurisdiction. And I thank you most exceedingly for the leave granted to proceed to do this in his stead. The Speaker, and again by way of education, this business statement is for the second meeting of the second session of the 8th Parliament of the 4th Republic, and it is also for the 4th week ending Friday, 17th of June 2022. Mr. Speaker, the report having been printed and circulated, I deem it that members have duly read. I therefore shall rely on the entire content without more and pray that the usual practice of members making contributions be granted by you, and soon thereafter, Mr. Speaker, you take a decision for the adoption of the report. Suffice to state that this,
or if there's any member who has any concerns, he can also raise it for the hearing of all of us. So, Honourable Member Fadaku.
Right, Honourable Speaker, thank you for the opportunity, and we thank my very good friend, the respected Deputy Leader, for a very brief presentation of the business statement. Mr. Speaker, on the second page, the second page of the business statement, I'm happy to see the Business Committee has scheduled the Finance Minister to be here to talk about expenditures incurred by government in relation to the COVID outbreak. Mr. Speaker, whilst the Minister is here, I implore the Business Committee and yourself to direct that whilst the Finance Minister is here, I would request that the very sensitive issue about government expenditure on the National Cathedral, of which has been in public domain, and payments made from the public coffers. Mr. Speaker, I believe it will be in the interest of this country for the Finance Minister to brief the House as well as to the circumstances leading to those expenditures, partly because it is believed that the expenditure perhaps may be out of what the Public Procurement and the Public Financial Management Act requires. For instance, Mr. Speaker, the consultant, as we know, just got inducted into the Ghana Institute of Architects last month, yet he was paid in 2020 for being the consultant to the National Cathedral. Mr. Speaker, this House passed the Public Financial Management Act, and the Public Procurement Act.
Honorable
So if
member.
public funds are being doled out to an entity...
Honorable member.
Mr. Speaker.
I don't know, but why then wouldn't you put a question for the minister to come and address all these areas? Because the minister will be here next week. From what I've seen, he is coming to answer the 16 questions. So if 16 questions do not cover this area, I don't think to be fair for him to jump into that area. So if you think you need a minister to answer that particular question, you can file a question to that, so that he will come here and address the nation.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. It's on record that the minister with the least potential to answer questions of members of parliament in the finance minister. Mr. Speaker, I agree with you. He's not answering. This one, he's been scheduled to appear in the House to brief members. It's not a question. So I'm saying that whilst he's here dealing with that, he should act that so that he prepares before coming. Mr. Speaker, another thing we can do is to file a motion for members for the House to set up a bipartisan committee to do a full-scale investigation. He can choose one of them. Come here and provide the information voluntarily, or we file a motion, invite him and investigate him. So, Mr. Speaker, it's his choice. I think that once he's coming,
very well,
it's up to him to do that.
Very well.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The leader is there. Yes, honorable member for Bongo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Because next week is COVID stories, because the Minister of Finance will be briefing us on how the COVID funds have been expended. Will the business committee consider also, because part of it had to do, I was looking at even the procurement processes. You know, there was a question today. There was supposed to be a question today on how the PPEs and other things were procured by the Ministry of Finance. Is it possible that you could consider rescheduling that question also, so that at least we discuss it as a whole, because we are going to look at how they have been expended and also the various entities, how they really use the various laws to expend those money. So is it possible that you could reschedule the 174 to next week for us to deal with the COVID issues all together?
Yes, Senior Who Central.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for your compliments. Originally, there was a plan for certain questions to be answered tomorrow, including one which I filed in connection with some road project in my constituency. But we are not sitting tomorrow, so I was thinking that that would have been, or those questions, set of questions would have been programmed for next week. But I've looked through and none such arrangement is being made. That is the first one. The second issue has to do with the question that I filed long ago with regards. Oh, the speaker is not. Mr. Speaker, I'm saying that the second issue is that I filed a question on the District Assembly's Common Fund for the Minister for Finance to come and answer on this floor. But I've seen that for Thursday, next week, he is coming here. That question is not included in those that he is coming to address on Thursday. I want to find out why, and if they can reprogram it so that that question will also be added to the set that is coming to respond to on Thursday next week.
Very well. I hope you are taking note of them. Okay. Let me take two, then you come in. Let me give the lady opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I hold two copies of the business statement. I hold the copy for this week and the copy for next week. And on the business statement for this week, On page 8, I have a very important question listed for Minister for Roads and Highways. Mr. Speaker, this question about the road, the nature of the roads in my constituency, touches the very lives of the people in my constituency. And it's been in this state for God knows how long. All attempts to get some answers to why the roads are in the state that they are is proving difficult. I've been informed that we are not sitting tomorrow. Otherwise, this question is supposed to be answered tomorrow. Now, it's curious that I can't find it on next week's business statement, although the Minister for Roads and Highways is billed to come here and answer the 8 questions. Mr. Speaker, once these things happen, you lose track of where the question is and when next it will appear on the order paper. I want to find out whether there is any particular reason why, although the minister is coming next week to answer questions, my question didn't make it to next week's order paper. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So your issue is almost the same as whole central. So let's hear then you come to you. Yes.
Thank you,
Mr.
Speaker. I think I just spoke about my 3 questions that were supposed to be answered by the Minister of Trade today. And he couldn't come. If given reasons why he couldn't come, I'm told there's a letter. I'm yet to see the letter. But one would have thought that at least next week, these questions will be programmed for me to engage in. Conspicuously missing, they are not found in this next week's business statement. I want to appeal to leadership if they can find a way, space in the business statement for next week so that we'll get the answers from the hardworking Minister of Trade and Industry.
And the incoming flag bearer for him.
Yes, respectful leader, may you respond to them.
Mr. Speaker, normally when you go to court and you want to prove that you are a good lawyer, the judges make it difficult for you to get bail for your client. But when you are on bended knees and you are doing my lord, you don't even finish and bail is granted. Mr. Speaker, let me on that score assure my respected colleague from Bole Bamboy, the mode of application, the tone in itself is compelling enough for the business committee to go the extra mile to ensure that the Minister of Trade comes next week. So arrangement will be made. And my own colleague from Salaga South, the issue you raised, I think that it's a genuine omission that those that have been programmed for tomorrow have been omitted for next week. So we'll liaise with the table office and ensure that all those questions that were to come tomorrow, of which the ministers would appear, at least you should add them. So this will be done, and be assured. With respect to Honorable Kodo, I need not emphasize this one more time. If you say you filed a question long ago, again I would invoke the Okujeto Ablaka rule. Follow up, check the book, the records book, whether Mr. Speaker has at all admitted your question. Because you see, this creates a certain impression about the table office, and I want us to end this. So please, let's deal with it. Now, on the matter raised by Honorable Kwame Abuja, we all know that on Thursday, the minister is coming here to answer 16 questions. Questions that are coming from members. Questions that border on national issues. To me, if Honorable Kwame Abuja is of the strong view that a matter has come up in the media and it needs the attention of the House, he should file a question and go through the process. But I think that the approach he adopted was inappropriate, because you create a certain impression of the minister, and let's bear in mind that as public officers, all we have is our image. The minister did not go somewhere or hide some payment somewhere, and the issue of National Cathedral is a matter of national policy, no matter how some of us may disagree. So we have to be fair. We have to be fair in how we approach it, so that we don't create a certain impression about the finance minister. That is all I want to say. Maria Bawa, raised a concern. I think this is a matter for corridor solution, so that next week it is dealt with. So be rest assured, we'll deal with it in the corridors and get it reflected for your comfort and pleasure.
On that note, the business statement for the 4th week, which will end 17th June 2022, is hereby adopted. We have some statements.
Mr. Speaker, the day is young, but old enough for members to leave the quarry and engage in some other parliamentary commitments. It is therefore our prayer, Mr. Speaker, that you exercise your mandate to adjourn proceedings for today. No. So it's a prayer. I'm making an application. You will second it. That's why I'm not saying it as discretion. I'm saying it's my prayer. You will second it for me. And you know you will second. Mr. Speaker, it is our prayer that you would grant us this dispensation for an adjournment until we come back on Tuesday. Mr. Speaker, I so pray.
Very well. Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we only hope that committees that have outstanding business before them will take advantage of the early adjournment to go and continue work on the referrals. I also want to draw leadership attention that as we start, the Speaker, you can see that they don't seem to have too many business. We hope the intention is not to wait for the last 2 weeks, then they come and heap everything on us and be telling us that there are deadlines, government will lose it, Ghana will lose it. So let us do everything to finish them, where it takes sometimes up to midnight for us to be here. We should think about our health. Now that there's peace, I encourage them to get government business done. But, Mr. Speaker, I agree with him that we should adjourn so that those who may have to travel far will be able to get to their conference in good time before tomorrow. And committees that have referrals should do well to work on the
referrals that have been sent to them. With this, Mr. Speaker, I equally second the motion for adjournment until Tuesday, 10 o'clock in the forenoon. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, before I put the question, I just want to take this opportunity to remind all of you that, as we said yesterday, tomorrow is a special day assigned for tree planting, and that is why we are not sitting tomorrow. Please, we are going to our constituencies to lead this all-important national assignment. So, adjoining early enough will afford members the opportunity to also travel to our various constituencies. On that note, the motion has already been moved and it has been seconded. I therefore have a singular pleasure to put the question. And the question is, as many as are in favor for the adjournment, say aye. All those against, say no. Honourable members, obviously the ayes have it. The motion is adopted and the House is therefore adjourned to Tuesday, 10 a.m. in the forenoon. The House stands adjourned.
Right there.
With all that's happening in some circles, can we say that African men are naturally polygamous? What on earth can influence a man who signed on to a monogamous marriage to now opt for a polygamous one? What discussion should come with such changes? And is it even fair to the first wife? Now let's flip the coin. Why can't most men stand polyandry? And is polygamy an antidote to side chicks? I've got 1,001 questions on this subject. This is Mons and Cuddles on GhanaWeb TV with Paula Amabruni. We'll be right back.
Right there.
Welcome back to Mons and Cuddles. It's always a pleasure to come your way to talk about issues that usually affect our relationship and how best we can spice our relationship. Now, today's topic is very dear to me because recently it was trending. I'll give you the whole intro and why it became a big deal. But as people will say, it is normal. The big question is, does polygamy cure side chick? Once a man got all the women to satisfy his curiosity and all his pleasures, and you just name it, will that stop him from cheating? So should women consider, opening up the marriages to the introduction of first, second, third wife if they don't want any wahala with today's side chick, tomorrow's side chick? And are even women open to such conversation? We're just looking forward to answering some of these questions that are on your mind that we all want answers to. Today is special because I've got the finest people to help me do justice to the topic. I have here with me radio personality, my senior in university and also in the media space, Caleb Neboy. He's the host of Showbiz on Star. Caleb, you're welcome.
Paula, thank you for having me. I'm humbled.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Anytime. It's been a while, you know.
Neboy is controversial. Let me talk to you. Let me even inform you before we start. He will not accept it, or you will accept it.
No, I'm not.
We'll live to see. We are not doing this alone. We have here Cecilia Anubani, my favorite actress. Yummy Mommy.
Hey.
Sissy, you're looking good.
Thank you. As always, I try to come in for you.
Yeah, you do. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that too. Sissy, today it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And the women, I know, they are looking forward to us to, you know, defend them and set the record straight. But whilst doing that, we also want to understand the men, know where they are coming from, because two people in a relationship, at some point you have to compromise and all that. That's if the person is deserving. We'll talk about that.
Exactly.
Now, let's just move on to the conversation. Neboy, you met a woman, you married, and as time goes on, she's like, okay, she wants to introduce another partner into the relationship. I know it's not common in our part of the world. Yeah, I know it's not common in our part of the world. What would be your reaction? Are you even going to second to that?
The woman introducing another gentleman to me?
Yes, please. No, not to you. You know, like the whole thing that we've kind of normalized, a man should have side chick and then, you know, take up a first or second wife. If your wife ever comes up with such discussion, how are you going to handle it?
Why would she do such a thing?
Hey.
Are we not in Africa? We're in Africa. Listen, here in Africa, one of our norms is a man having a second wife. Moreover, if you read the Bible, it tells you the number of wives King Solomon had. Even here in Ghana, we've had one of our famous men of God tell us it's 71. There is nowhere in the Bible that says a woman should do 2 or 3 more men. No. It is stated clear. And see, because the women are more than the men, it is only proper for a man to say, look, let me just add 1 or 2. It's normal. It's not even a big deal. It will only become a tough thing to do when the man is not financially sound. Because at the end of the day, you bringing somebody in to add up to your first wife, it takes a lot of money, you know, going to a home to even seek for a hand in marriage. It comes with a lot of responsibility too as well. But if you are financially sound and you are good to go, having a second wife is not a big deal. But I don't see why a woman should go and introduce a man to a husband as, I want to marry a second husband.
She got nerves.
Can you imagine?
Hey.
Do you have nerves? No.
So, if I understand where you're coming from, you signed to polygamy, but not polyandry.
Well, like I said, I'm an African man. So, full-blooded, I believe in our customs, I believe in our tradition. So, what I came to meet, I saw my people do. If the opportunity comes for me to do same, and I think I have that strength, I have that financial muscle to do it, why not? It's not really a big deal. It's not really a big deal at all.
All right.
It will only be a big deal if the woman wants to do second husband. And with that, if it happens that way, she would have to bring the said man to me, her first husband, so the second man will pay the bride price to me. Because I had already paid the first bride price for her.
Okay. So if you introduce a new woman, are you going to compensate her?
I am going to pay for her bride price at her family's house and not to my first wife's house.
Okay. Neboy's submission is up for debate. But then Sissy, with women, they always say sometimes you've been taken for a ride. You meet a guy, he's not really established, but you understand him. Let's start a life together. You help him build his brand, his company, whatever it is, whilst you're also doing something to yourself. It's 50-50. And then at the end of the day, when things are smooth, now you have the name. Everything is, up there. We're living the best life. Then you want to introduce another woman. With a woman who finds herself in, I would say, such an unfortunate situation, how can the man start the discussion, and what should be the precaution he should take? Let's just say in cases like that, because we end up always feeling brokenhearted. It's like, how can you do that to me?
It's sad, because at the end of the day, when you were broke and I was helping you build yourself, in a sense, I'm sure that's what, I think that actress and that whole topic we were relating to was about. Did you talk about having a second wife at that time when you were broke and didn't have anything? You see, that's what I'm saying. If you're going to go, it's about communication, and it's about keeping yourself and the relationship informed. Going into relationships, we've talked about this before, where I've said that, in a relationship or going into a relationship, you need to talk about your financials, you need to talk about where you want the relationship to go, how it's going, all of these kind of things. If it wasn't introduced in the beginning, I don't see, you have to ask the person's opinion. Or even when you're dating, it should be a question that you ask in your dating stages, that, what do you think about, second wives, and what do you think about this? You can't just spring it up on somebody and be like, well, I know you helped me, we'll build up a home, we got loads of money now, which you held the fort whilst I was doing whatever I needed to. Okay, now I'm just going to add another person to come and spend our money without contributing to the hardship that you've gone through. This is on the woman's back. Now some woman is going to be now coming to spend the money that she did not earn.
Where was she?
Where was she? Why wasn't she? If you're going to do second wife, let her come in. Let's all be here. Let's all work hard. Let's all build this brand together. You can't bring somebody in to come and spend money that I have built.
And even in the cases that, women, when sometimes we get pregnant, sometimes you have to put career and stuff like that on hold. Be at home, a stay-at-home mom for some time, and make sure the kids are okay, take care of them. So imagine myself, for instance, I put my job on hold and all that, and then later on, you come tell me such a thing. I don't know how I'm going to react. But Caleb, in such a situation, what are the steps that a man should take so that the woman does not feel cheated, feel useless and all that? Because you are saying that it is kind of normal. So how can you handle it?
How is it normal? Since when is it normal? Side chick has never been normal.
It's been.
No.
It's been.
No. Our forefathers and our grandfathers used to have it, but it was something that nobody talked about. If you have a child outside of your marriage, you used to call it a bastard child. And that child was always a bastard child, excuse my French, or whatever it is. And it is never, and some families have it now where, their fathers are dead and whatever, and the children are not really accepted into the first family, as you call them. We call them the first family. So when our grandfathers did it, it was never really accepted. It was known to be, but it wasn't normal.
But then now in the case, when they go outside the marriage to impregnate another, okay, it's like normal, I'm taking responsibility, as they say. So I'm bringing in the woman, I'm going to marry her. So that
into which room? Into whose room?
That's the question.
You see,
answer the question.
I actually have a problem with the way both of you have actually made it look like you met him, you have nothing, you helped him build up.
Most of the time you have nothing.
How is that possible?
Because you always have it all. Women too do.
Listen,
have.
So if you say you helped him build up, what did you do?
Wow. Jeez, me boy, come on.
Wow.
Come on.
Okay,
Paula,
I'll give you an example, right? I'll give you an example of, a family member that I know and this is the olden times. So, the man was, it was agreed that, he needs to go to university to get his, his bar. He was doing a law degree and all of this stuff, while she works to take care of both of them, right? So she got a job and she was working, and then she paid his tuition and everything that he needs to get get his law degree. He got his law degree, then he went to the bar and all of that kind of stuff, and then qualified to be a lawyer and everything else. At that point, I have helped you to get to where you need to get to. Has she not? So now, if you now introduce, and this same person, this same man, now gets a side chick and now gets another family, leaving this woman to now be, now she has her children and everything else, and she's helped you pretty much establish yourself.
Is that not help?
Is that not helping?
No, men want even to take care of you in university, and then you're like, I don't want the relationship. You guys always say, and I'm a shell. Yeah, so why is it different? Why is it different?
I'm not happy with the way both of you have made it look like, oh, then when you meet the guy, he has nothing, you did this to
Let's
help.
say you had money. Let's say you had your money.
So if I had my money, and I see you and I marry you, and tomorrow I want to marry another, what is the big deal?
Did you sign up to a polygamous marriage initially, or you just have a taste, so you want to satisfy it?
Am I not in that position to change my mind as and when I want to?
What? No.
So the woman, we cannot change our mind.
That's what I'm saying, that you're the woman. Along the line in the marriage, when you want to marry a second husband, are you going to take the man to your family or to me, or come and introduce the man to me?
Why should they come to you?
Because I am your husband.
Okay, no,
but the woman you're not bringing to your wife.
Listen.
Okay, Caleb, now, you see how we are reacting. For a man who found himself in such situation, how best can you calm the woman?
Listen.
So give us that reason. Like, I don't know how best you can. Yeah.
See, the best the man can do, if that zeal of you getting another wife comes up, it is only proper you will discuss with your wife, your first wife.
Okay.
But you and I know that when you tell your first wife, she won't agree.
Yes.
Good.
So you're doing it against her.
No, listen. So, at least make the move.
Wow.
If you make the move and she doesn't agree, of course you are the man of the house. You have every right.
Okay.
If only you are financially sound.
Okay.
That is one caveat we should look at.
Okay.
We shouldn't make it look like, oh, because the zeal is there, or you want to have another woman, you can just get up and go and marry anybody just like that. So it will be more like a burden on the first wife. No. If the financial means is there, make it open. Speak to the woman. If she agrees, praise God. If she doesn't agree, and you still want to go ahead, look, come on.
All right.
We are
So
in the 21st
why
century.
is that? Okay, he has the audacity to say 21st century. Okay, so if you are in the 21st century, why can't the woman also
do
request that?
21st century things?
21st century women.
Good, fine. I'm coming.
Yes.
I come into your home to marry you, right?
Yes.
I go through every tradition or every custom that your family requires of me to get you as my wife. Exactly, right? Good. Don't you think if you want to do another man, me, your husband, you should at least put me in a known first?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Good.
That's
We
what
will.
we're saying.
Fine. But this is the case that I have already paid for your bride price. So what happens to the bride price I've paid? What happened to it?
I'll give it back to you.
still your
Do you want it?
wife.
Do you want the bride price?
Am I still not
How
your
much
wife?
is the bride price
So the
in a
bride
way?
price still stands because I'm still your wife.
Yes.
But I'm bringing another husband who's also going to pay my bride price because at the end of the day, he's coming to be my husband. So I'm still your wife. So the bride price still stands.
Listen, are you going to be my wife under my roof, or you are going to be my wife in another man's roof?
Just as you guys spend time here, spend time there. We can do it very nicely. I could go to the salon. I could change my hair for you. You want braids?
We
Great.
can get braids.
The second husband, you want weave? I'm gonna wear 17 inches. 30 inches, I'll do it for you. But boy,
You see?
wait, are African men naturally polygamous?
Oh yes, right. Come on.
It's not even up.
So
No.
there's none of y'all that's not.
Well, you see, this is, like I told you earlier, this is Africa. Do you understand? This is, you see, some of these things shouldn't surprise you. It shouldn't surprise you.
No, okay, wait, I'm going to be very honest. I cannot imagine the guy I'm marrying with him not ever mentioning anything that got to do with polygamy.
Yeah.
We are into the marriage, maybe 5 years into it.
Yeah,
and then now he's telling me he's got taste for another woman, so he wants to bring. I'm like, why didn't you? I didn't sign up for that because if initially I'm a single woman and then I meet a man and I think I like him and he's already got a wife and I'm thinking, okay, am I ready to be his second wife? That is different. But if I have signed up to a monogamous marriage and then along the line you're trying to introduce polygamy to me, I will not take it under no circumstance.
Yeah.
Listen.
And besides, thank God for court marriages.
You are.
Yeah, thank God for court marriages.
I think
we will knew you there.
No.
We will knew you there.
No, listen. I think if that is where we would want to go, I'm sure at the end of the day, it is you women who will lose this.
How?
Yeah.
How?
You lose it.
How?
Listen. Maybe every man way won't go sign marriage. Or you don't know.
They will not do it.
Exactly.
No, those men are naturally that's what they want the police. So that you know it. You know it from the start.
Listen, he won't show any signs of it from start. Just being in the house, you can put pressure on him to go and go to the court to sign, and he won't do it. After all, he has married you. Okay. Do you understand?
Now, ladies, you heard what Niboy said. Please opt for it from the beginning. Yes. Because if you do the customary and if you lose guard, they'll show you pepper.
I keep hearing that men will show you. What
men will stay your
do? Women.
We can show you too, but we will go for a quick break. When we come back, Moons and Cuddles continues.
Right there.
Welcome to Moons and Cuddles on GhanaWeb TV. As I stated earlier, we're discussing or we're trying to understand if polygamy can cure the whole introduction of side chicks and all the things that come with it. And the conversation is already heated. Yeah, Caleb is letting us know how the men think from the man's perspective. And then Sissy and I are trying to grill him, but you know, he always comes back stronger with his submission. But at the end of the day, we're gonna get I just can't wait for the final part if you get to a point where everybody will be satisfied. But then one question that really is on my mind: why is it that in our part of the world men cannot stand polyandry? It's a no. Why?
Because they're archaic.
Why should it happen in the first place? Why should it happen?
But you know it happens in some part of the world.
No, but I mean,
but it's not really common, but then it happens.
Yeah, it does happen and it's welcomed and it's normal.
Yeah.
If you say some parts of the world,
I
have been in Ghana for like 3 decades. Wherever I've traveled to, I haven't spent more than a month. I go there and I come back. So what I believe in as an African still lives in me wherever I go. And what I believe in doesn't expose me to that.
Okay.
So I would be happy if you would limit the conversation to where you and I find ourselves. Because if you go outside our borders, somewhere in Europe and the Americas, these things, I'm sure it's open there and it's being done. But here in Ghana...
But I beg to differ. In Ghana, we always say we are against same-sex marriage, gays and all that. But then there are the minor... there is a community, so you cannot...
Right now,
and what's the
things
response?
are happening.
What's the response?
With LGBT, we know that they don't even want to hear about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. But then, if you talk about...
Our customs is key. They are very key, and we can't run away from it. At the end of the day, we have to protect it. Reason, conversations like LGBT or whatever, anytime it comes up into the main light, people have strong way against it, and you cannot blame them.
Yeah.
We are Africans.
But Caleb, you just said 21st century. Are we still going to... You want to move on into, you know, you're saying that within Africa. I don't think we can stay within, because right now, if we look at our young people and everything, people are more sexualized, people are more, you know, now being,
but you think
we are not wearing kaba and slits anymore. We are now, you know, having...
It's good to have the conversation.
You are wearing jeans and I'm wearing kaftan, more African prints.
No, not every man is wearing kaftan. We are moving forward. We are blending and
cultures
now absorbing the Western world a little bit.
I am not saying you shouldn't.
And so, okay.
But I'm saying at the end of the day, ours should always be supreme.
No, it can't be.
It has
How
to
are
be.
you going to marry these 21st century girls that are now out here, you know, who are very comfortable in their sexuality and comfortable in their bodies and everything, and now you want to come and bring your old-fashioned, it is...
You see it
all
as
of
old
this.
fashioned?
Yes, it is.
You sure?
It is not something that has evolved, and you have to evolve. So now you are saying 21st century. Why should that not blend into 21st? That only that one should stay, but everything else should
not being
blend.
fair.
No. Listen to me. I'm not saying. Listen. Okay. What I'm trying to tell you.
Make us understand.
Make us. Let me hear.
Once we are in the 21st century, yeah, we've grown.
Yes.
We've read.
Yes.
We've learned.
Yes.
You understand me? In all these things we've done, you and I, we know where we come from. We cannot carry our tradition, whatever, and throw it away because we think we've read.
We're westernized.
That's it.
Okay.
You will read, but make sure you modify it into what you know already, or whatever your culture.
But you are trying to say that side chick is part of our custom.
Oh,
that's what you are saying.
Are you telling me you don't know this?
No, but it's not part of our custom. It's something that has been taboo.
Now let me.
Where?
No, Caleb. Caleb, see, let me come in.
One
One thing that we usually get it wrong is that, you know, marriage is an institution. It got rules, right? We've normalized cheating.
Yes.
Now, a man takes home a woman, doesn't fear God, takes the vow, I promise to whatever.
Women cheat
And then,
too. Add that one. Women cheat
and then
too.
Yes. Women cheat. Men cheat. Maybe women even do it better, but that's another. There's another conversation. But then it has become normal, because even if a woman, you are going into marriage, sometimes it's really appalling that family will advise you, oh, if in case your just
does something,
cheats and then you know, try and come, because it rains everywhere. With you going into a marriage with such mentality, it's just too much. I'm a whole human. I also got feelings.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't normalize cheating.
Yes.
And then you see it as a big deal, something you can't even imagine when a woman cheats. But when a man cheats, let's
okay.
cover it, and you know, it's nothing.
Paula, this is
what is good for the... What is that saying?
What is good for the
goose is good for the goose.
No.
Whatever you said some few seconds ago.
Yes.
This is what our mothers, our grandmothers, they've done. Listen. What
do we want to do? Forget what your grandfathers do. What do you want to do? Let's be the change we want to see.
Listen, I'm saying that.
Yeah.
Do you know there is no pamphlet for marriage? Most of us, when we want to get married, then we go and sit in some pastor's office. They say they are doing counseling.
So isn't the Bible a pamphlet for marriage?
It is?
Yes.
Oh, Caleb.
Come on.
Bible.
Does it not say treat your wife well, this?
As the church, just as Christ loved the church, you should love your wife. Wife, submit to your husband.
Thank you. So if I love my wife, eventually I want to pick another wife, what's the big deal? The Bible, is the Bible against it?
No, we are not against. See, that's the thing.
What I'm saying is,
I'm
saying
if you go into the Bible, men always use that, like, where in the Bible, show me, where is it that we cannot take? Yeah, we understand that. But then if you sign up to, like, the court marriages, that one,
there's
you should
no court
respect
marriage
it.
in the Bible. This is court, and you put it
How
aside.
do you know?
Why should we put it aside?
Yeah, see, you're interpreting the Bible when it's good for you.
That's it.
And
That's what me
when
boys
it's not
doing.
good for you, you're like, oh, it's not in the Bible.
I'm saying.
How do you know? Were you there?
Where?
Were you there?
I'm trying
Did
to
they not have systems and things? So why wouldn't a court marriage be existent in those times?
Which system made Solomon marry those women? Which system? Which system? Look, the same Bible we are even discussing. Was it Abraham or who? I think Abraham
Sarah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So why are you making it look like, oh, when you marry a second wife,
So
that's
why
only a
is it
before
you guys want to jump for the Bible because the Bible says, hey, but anything else, no, you don't want to jump for the Bible.
Anything else like what?
Anything else? Bring up anything else. Men would, anything else would, when it comes to having multiple women, hey, didn't this person do that?
Paula,
yes.
What I'm trying to tell you is, these counselors will go for marriage, nothing. The first person to counsel you go into your marriage is your parents. So if your mother tells you that, look, when you are going into marriage and your husband does this, your mother knows what she had gone through or she had experienced. Maybe she's also sharing it with you. But why has your mother stayed in marriage 10, 20, 30 years,
In
and
misery.
you will go in and Sunday morning, then you are screaming. You want to
So,
go out.
would you sign up for counseling before your marriage?
I'm not sure. I would want to speak to my parents
Paula.
more. In fact, I would intend to use my wife's parents too.
Okay.
As counselors, than go and sit in front of a pastor to counsel. Even if
I think that is a difference.
Even the person is a pastor, yeah, the person should have between 20 years
experience.
Yeah.
Fine.
That's
Even
fair enough.
That is a different topic. When you say our mothers, and you have to understand that our mothers went through a lot of trauma.
And they had to enjoy it.
Some enjoyed. Don't make it look like
No,
they were all
we
suffering.
are not saying.
Some
Oh no, they
enjoyed.
did not all suffer.
Relax.
Of course.
We are
Yes.
talking about the ones, the ones that were introduced, side chicks, and all of these people were introduced into their marriage. All of these women were introduced to trauma. They have a lot of anger
that they had to
They
deal
have a
with.
lot of, when you speak to some women, they have a lot of regret and a lot of pain that they went through. This is a very painful, and I think we are ignoring the emotional and mental health side of it.
Thank you, Sisi.
Bringing another woman into a marriage is very emotionally catastrophic for a woman.
Draining. You cannot even, you start wondering, where did I go wrong? What could I have done better? But it's no fault of your fault. It's the man who just wants to satisfy.
You didn't do anything wrong. Matters don't change.
No, if you love
changes.
someone, see, let me tell you something. Sometimes people do cheat. It's chronic. But then for a man who loves the woman, you always have the sense, what if she finds out? I know she's not going to like it.
Yeah.
She's going to be heartbroken and all that. Sometimes you should have feelings. How would the other person feel? It's not all about you. Trust me, married women sometimes meet someone who is more attractive. Maybe an ex was sexually good.
Yeah.
But then you're thinking, what if my husband finds out I define? So all these things should help you. But you will talk about that later. Let's move on to the conversation. We can go back and forth with it. But then you doing the watching, you decide. We can give our submission. By the end of the day, it's just to guide you. You get what I'm saying? All right. Now, I've heard stories where married men say it kind of looks like single women are attracted to them. And then you ask these girls, this man is married. Why are you following him? It's like, oh, married men are responsible. I'm like, sis.
Yeah.
Why is that so? And then even for women who are open to being first, second wives, third wives, whatsoever. But let me start from this point. Why are women attracted to married men? How?
It's just a response. I've heard this before, that a side chick will say that, it's because, they look at what the husband is doing for the wife, and they're like, he's responsible, he's looking after her. Oh, see, he bought her a car. Oh, see this. Oh, see that. So in a sense, they just want what the wife has.
It's enjoying.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
And they just see them as more. But when you look at it, this is not a responsible man. Because this is a man that's putting his whole family, his whole lifestyle, everything in jeopardy. He's in jeopardy of losing this because he hasn't discussed with his wife if it is okay to be having a side chick or to be having another woman or whatever it is. And in the case where this woman finds out, he could lose his whole family. How is that a responsible man?
Now, why do you think we single ladies are attracted to married men? Why do we sometimes, not all the case, I must say, not all of us do that.
At this point, I would be happy if we even change seats. I move here, you move there. You're a single lady. You should be telling me why you people love married men. You should be telling me.
I don't do married men, so I cannot really
You don't do married men?
No, I don't do married men.
You don't have friends who do married men?
They do.
And
do.
What do they tell you?
Usually, sometimes the whole sponsorship thing, with them, they know that,
financial.
maybe you satisfied their sexual, you just got wild sex. So then they just want to spoil you and all that. It's just like, okay, they're just spoiling you, stuff like that. So that is why they move to them. Now we need Sky and we'll be moving to you.
Do you know that, do you know that takes some kind of financial burden off the said girl's parents? Do you know?
Oh, Radini boy, come on, me. Oh, goodness.
Hola.
It is true, but then that shouldn't be a reason why you're cheating on a woman.
That shouldn't be the reason why you jump for another married. Listen, I've been married, and I've always vowed, and obviously I'm not married now, but I would never, being a wife, I would never be a married man's side chick. I wouldn't do that because I've played.
You've been there before, so you know.
I've been the wife, so I know how it feels. So I wouldn't want to do that to another woman, at all, ever.
What are you doing to another woman?
You're destroying
The
her.
woman, listen, the woman doesn't know about you, does she?
I know about me.
Huh?
That's enough for my conscience.
The woman is sitting somewhere. The woman that she doesn't know you. It is the man you are dealing with. So what's the?
So the man should play their password and never get caught.
Why should you even go for a side chick and allow yourself to be caught? Why would you do that? Which means you're not smart.
Tell us what a smart man would do.
Please, let us know.
Let us know. Let us see the smart ones.
Listen.
So we have to up our game or just leave you to do whatever you want to do?
You want to up your game in terms of getting a married man?
No, come on. I told you initially that I don't do married men.
No, but I mean, like any smart guy who is married.
Yes. How do you not get caught? Because you always get
there are
caught.
so many ways. Listen, just set rules and regulations for your
No,
side
you see,
chick.
that doesn't work.
Oh, the side. No, side
That
chicks.
doesn't
See, now the side chick, they know role play. Like they know their position. They see madam is coming. Hey. Now they've upped. Sissy, now their thing is serious, so because she knows what she's getting from you,
so
and then she's not willing to even create problems between you and your wife.
They are for the weekends. The main chick is for weekdays. So weekends, master must go for
master pa.
Yes, a conference somewhere. 2-3 days conference
So
outside
supposing
Accra.
one weekend he's going with the main chick, what happens?
Why is the main chick going for the
I'm your wife.
Say it again. I'm your wife. What do you mean? Why am I going for weekend? We are going for weekend.
So if you are going for the weekends, who should stay home and take care of the kids?
You have people to do that.
People who?
It's a wife made for just
to stay
out. Listen.
You see, this is why it's not even good to get married.
No.
People, let's not even do it.
Listen.
Because as soon as you get
if you
married,
live your whole life and then you thinking that, jeez, I had a life. Nobody should come and stress me.
Thank you.
Hey,
thank you.
Me,
You don't go
I
for
had a
this
life.
conference every weekend, do you? You don't.
So
Once
the
in a while.
weekend that you're going, I'm coming.
Why?
Because it's a hotel. Who the hell doesn't want to stay in a hotel? I'm coming to stay in a hotel.
What is
with
so
you.
extraordinary?
And you are my husband,
No,
so I'm coming with you.
what was so extraordinary in you staying in a hotel?
So what's the whole extraordinary? But
Why would you take the side chick?
chick?
Why would you want to take the side chick and not your wife? Where did she go wrong?
Oh, listen. You see, sometimes when you go for this trip, sometimes you need fresh air. You understand?
So you can get fresh air with me because I'm living in the same debt as you. So we both need fresh air.
Whilst you're looking for fresh air, get your wife at a fresh air.
So whilst you're away, can I have my fresh air come to see me in our home?
Would that be fair?
Our home?
Yes. Where else am I going to go?
If you don't subscribe to it, can I get fresh air outside the home?
Oh, you can do it, but make sure I don't catch you.
Oh, okay.
Men are always pain. Like a man cannot stand or even think that another woman had sexual intercourse with the wife or a partner. But then for you, we should normalize it and accept it.
Yeah, you have to.
Me too, I can't think of it. I don't want to think of my husband being pleasured by some other woman. It is something that is like, oh my God. Like, something that is mine, somebody can't come and just take it.
No, but you see, you've been doing one style for a very long time. Sometimes you need to go and upgrade your style outside there.
See, it depends on the women you find. As you say, 21st century women, we are not boring.
You're not boring.
We are not boring.
Eh.
Look for the right ones, I must say. Anyway, on the back of we not being boring, I would love to take a quick break. When we come back, Mons and Cuddles with Cecilia and Caleb continues.
Right there.
You're welcome back to Mons and Cuddles on GhanaWeb TV. This has actually been one of my most interactive, interesting, controversial discussion I've ever had. All thanks to Caleb Mibo and Cecilia, I must say. This conversation, as I said today, was going to be an eye-opener, and really it is. Now we've gotten to the fun part. It's the mystery box. I've got some questions in here, right? Very interesting, like hot ones, of course, because it comes with a discussion. So if you pick it, you give us honest answer. And then if you pick the sheet with just a blank sheet, you get to ask me any question, because it's like when you go on the show, it's just the host is bombarding you with questions. So I'm gonna start with Caleb.
Why are you starting with me?
Because you're a darling boy who is controversial.
Antiara baby.
Okay.
Should I give it to you?
Yeah, let me just read it out to you. Thank you. Gang. Would you leave your wife of 5 years if you found out they had a side boy?
Would I leave her?
Yeah, or call for divorce?
Yes, I will.
See this one.
Yes, I will.
Why?
I have been cheated upon for 5 years. So.
No, she didn't say for 5 years. She said, would you leave your wife you have been with for 5 years if you found out maybe she had a side boy for like maybe a couple months
of months.
Oh, or maybe even years, like whatever it is.
Whatever.
Even if it's for a day, yes. She has to go.
Okay. I was going to ask what if a table turns, but I think we know the answer.
Table turns.
The marriage continues,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Okay. Sissy.
Yes.
Okay. Please hand it. Hey, Caleb. Just obey Jawari no after all the years.
Kepun.
Shut up. Hey.
Okay. I hope it's a good
Much
one.
thanks. I hope so. Okay. Ha! Da. Wife to a poor man, 7th wife to a rich man. Which will you choose?
This one.
Okay, well, I have an answer for you, right? So again, I don't do 2nd place. I don't do 3rd place. I don't do 4th place. I don't do 5th place. I don't do 6th or 7th place. So I'm gonna take that broke guy and be with him so long as I can be first.
This one, yeah. This one, yeah. You and I know.
Do you know? Listen, that broke guy, I can build him.
You can build him?
Yes. I have done it before, tried and tested. I will build him. He will be a rich guy. He's not going to be broke for long.
All right. I know
I will not be anybody's
7th wife. Because of
7th.
Can you imagine?
When everything is being
the world's
provided.
richest man was 7th. Will you consider the world's richest man?
The world's richest man. 7th.
Would you?
What conditions are coming with that? Okay, no. What conditions are coming with that? How often am I seeing you?
That's the problem.
Because 7th, that means like
you are in queue, long queue.
I'm just there. If he's just giving me my money and I don't have to see him, then cool. I don't want to even know him. Don't even come. Like, bruh.
I'm good without you.
Your husband.
No, don't come. What are you coming for? For what? If you're coming like once every 6 months,
stay home.
Great. Like once every 6 months.
You come every 6 months,
but
have sex,
so long as you're sending me my money every
month.
No,
wait. Like, you come after 6 months, have sex, make you a baby, then you go.
Make you a baby. How am I having your children? Hey, 7th. Meme sounds so low.
Hey, but all those that come usually.
If I haven't had children already. If I've got children already, I wouldn't. If I haven't, okay, I guess 50 Cent said it, have a baby by me, be a millionaire. Okay.
It's up for a conversation or consideration.
I'll be paid, so yeah.
Anyway, let's continue.
You said, no, but 7th, you want me to be in love with you?
Why? No.
What kind of love? 7th.
At this point, what are you looking for, love?
Exactly.
Maybe you are wowed by her.
Head over heels love. 7th is not head over heels. 7th is not Cinderella love.
7th is somebody that.
It is.
Oh no, usually the men.
Passing through, eh?
Yes, you're passing. This is a drive-by. Some hey boo. drive-by. It's a drive-by.
No
7
kids.
is drive-by.
No, like no kids.
No, unless I want, then no. But
sir.
me, I'll take it. I'll travel. I'll go around. I'll get my side nigga, and me and him will be chilling on your money.
Then.
No, you see how Liba is coming at you because
listen,
you are trying to be a 21st century woman.
If that's what you are saying, then you'd have to be in your father's house.
Yes. You don't care.
Seventh wife, seventh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. What am I doing for you? What do you want?
Sex, enjoyment.
Okay, you're coming.
Okay.
You're enjoying it.
Yes.
Bye.
You make babies for me.
How?
Okay. This one can go on and on and on. But then, on the back of making babies, Caleb, you are married. You're in a committed relationship, monogamous. Something happened. Of course, you had sex with another woman, and then now this side chick got a child for you. How are you going to start the conversation with her? Or you want to keep it secret, like forever? When you die, and then they come, okay, you're claiming properties and all that. So for a man who is in that fix,
okay, you see, I think every man knows his wife.
Yeah.
And how she would react to news like this.
I beg to differ.
Oh.
Men think they know their wives and how they will react to it. Most of the time, and from experience, the way you think the wife may react is never the way she reacts. And I'm very sound and sure that 80% of men would think that what they thought their wives would do, their wives didn't do.
Oh, I'm saying this based on experience too.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm saying, since you know your wife and how she will react to certain things, that should be enough reason for you to decide to tell her or not.
Right.
Because you telling her can increase her BP.
BP, I feel who dream me BP.
Only the orange now on dream BP no.
Yes, you telling your first wife
Caleb.
can increase her BP. In fact, the BP can shoot in a very high, commotion everywhere. So, I rather advise you lay low.
Okay.
Keep it on the low. Make sure you go and do whatever you have to do at the other girl's house.
In secret?
Low-key. Yes. And you see, no. You are not doing it for the rest of your life. But eventually it will come out. But for the time being, manage it in a way that your wife wouldn't hear instantly.
Ooh.
You know?
Okay, Caleb, I think I will agree with you. On the back that men sometimes find out, yes, that the child that they are having in their home is not theirs.
Serves them right.
So it means it's cool, right? From what you are saying, that, years later. So when we bring it to that scenario where we also give you a child that is not yours, why should we wait? Why should we tell you? When the baby is 20 years or never?
Exactly.
Wait, you see, because of what we've seen or we've heard in the news like some months ago, right now, DNA can't make like this bottle, like this glass of juice. Right now, DNA, right now, everybody can do DNA at any time. So, even if the person is your first wife, once the baby come, look sharp. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
You come to like the baby drop as well. I come to insult your wife as well.
What is insulting about
it? It's insulting. Why, if she is in her a dedicated marriage to you, she feels that she's dedicated. I think to us,
women have shown men red colors.
It's good because they too.
It's good.
Doing their
it's good.
Side chick is good.
No, but that is one of the most painful experience a man will go through, taking care of a child.
That is not his.
That is not yours. Like, I can't even close my eyes. I don't even imagine or wish that for my worst enemy. Because the bond, God.
A child is a child, whether it's yours or not. If you have a bond with it, you have a bond.
What did I pass today? Oh my God, some what?
Me can't tell. Because at the end of the day, if you are bonded with the child, you're bonded with the child, whether it's yours or it's not yours. So knowing, so hold on, you are bonding with the child. Just because you know it's not your child, now you won't bond with the child again.
No, some men will not It stops there.
That's why we won't tell you.
It got tear my eye top.
Why?
Seriously.
But you are bonding with the child. The child is already yours. Why would knowing that is not yours or yours have any implications to why you should not bond with the child?
Listen.
You're already bonded.
The mere fact that I know this kid is mine naturally brings the bond. But after some time and I get to know this is not mine.
A bond is built over time.
Yeah.
No, a bond is built over time. If a man would build a bond with a child, let's say for 5 or even 10 years, the child is now 10 years, knows you as their father, you built a bond and everything, and now you found out that the child is not yours, and now you are saying it tear your eye, then you don't love the child.
Okay, so Sissy, let me ask you. So the question is that if a man who finds himself in such a situation, even though you were hurt, you feel betrayed, you should not take it on to that child.
No, you shouldn't.
So you should continue with the paying of school fees and all that.
The child because the bond has been built
asking you something. Pay school fees.
Should you still take responsibility?
It's still your child. It's still a bond that you've built with the child. Why not? Why would you say that now you are not going to be responsible for the child? A child that has been sitting on your leg and playing with you and all of that stuff. To that child, you are still daddy. Regardless whether, so I think it's very heartless if you say that now.
Heartless?
Yes, it's heartless because you've built, it's a relationship. It's like building a relationship. It wasn't just like today and tomorrow. No, you built a relationship with this child. So it shouldn't just disappear. That's like men that come into already established, families, a woman who's already got kids and whatever, and he starts building a relationship with the child. He's not going to just happen. He's built a bond with the child.
That's different. I'm saying, I know you already have a child. So when I come in and I know I'm coming in for you, yes, if I love you, I should love your child. It comes naturally. In fact, it's part of the package. So that is fine. But I will take care of somebody, like a child I know is mine.
It is yours. You have been fending and bending for it.
How it's not his. It is not his. Where is it?
Where is it?
This conversation or this reaction comes because of the years of men taking advantage of women, and then you are just there, and then they just bring a child to you.
Why do you always say men take advantage of women? Don't you have women who take advantage of men?
No, but men have taken advantage of women far longer than women have taken advantage of men.
With the examples that you are giving, if you are being real, one more you are saying that you can have a side chick and all that is normal. Who is taking advantage of who? Let's be real here. Who is taking? Who is at the receiving end?
You taking a second wife doesn't mean you are taking advantage of your first wife. How is that?
It is not taking advantage when you all agree. When I know what I'm signing up to. Now that brings me to my question: if you're dating a man who is filthy rich, he's got money and all that, should you be open? Like, should it be at the back of your mind that one time he's going to bring up that conversation, or he's going to bring in another child? Because now it has become like, this married man, sometimes they are trying to be decent and stay with the family, but these girls, knowing what they have, they're just looking for one opportunity. Knew you, I'm pregnant for you. So in such a woman, should you have it at the back of my mind, it's going to happen, which I don't want. I don't even want to close my eyes and imagine. Or you should trust your man that even with all the money and all the things he's got, he's still going to be faithful to you.
Paula, I think with an African man, we have to pretty much say, let's put it with our, what is it? Your mind day. Your mind for day.
My mind
right?
day for you.
Exactly. But I think it is all about the European men. Oh, I'm going to go there because they're not going to come and give you all this wahala.
Sister, if you cheat, you are losing like big time.
Yes,
so they're always going to look at that. If you come here.
And the systems work. If you're cheating and I'm leaving you, I'm walking out with 7 million of your money.
Yes. That one, it favors women.
Please.
It favors. But when you come here, we're always at the losing end. Then you take all your children.
Yes,
you want to
Johnny
leave.
Depp and all this. Look at what he's
So you see.
Too much reading.
She still walked off with 7 million.
You've been reading.
It's not reading. We are being 21st century women.
We are educating ourselves
I get it,
on the rubbish we shouldn't take.
Okay.
Rubbish?
Yes.
What kind of rubbish
It is rubbish.
Which one is that?
It is rubbish.
But ladies,
side chick is rubbish.
Sissy and Caleb, before we wrap up this conversation, in the case where you find yourself in a polygamous marriage, how do you live in harmony? Because Ababeto, let's just say, right? Because I just recently saw a video of Yo Idochi. If I butchered the name, I'm not Nigerian, so please pardon me. When his wife issue came up, taking in a second wife, we all jammed, and then I even participated. I was like, it was not fair because you come into social media to announce you have, what are you thinking about your wife? Just recently, some few hours ago, I was on social media and I found that he was sitting in a car with the first wife, Mary, and they're sitting. Tiwa Savage like them. They call me say my person, don't give person belle, and then they were just jamming. So for a woman who found herself in that situation, first maybe you were hurt, but now you know she's come to stay. Maybe he's paid her diary and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How do you live in harmony with such a situation, or even the husband bringing in a child and like, this is my child that when I went outside I brought? How? When you don't want to leave the marriage?
Okay, so it's happened to me.
Okay.
I have to say, the thought was never, I'm gonna stay with the girl.
Okay.
The thought was, I made a mistake, and this has happened. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. Bah, cry, whatever he has to do. And in a sense, being a compassionate woman, I accepted the child into my bunch.
Okay.
So do I, in that sense, if it's a, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think I would have been accepting if it's like, well, I done did that, or I'm going to do that. She's here to stay. We're all going to be chilling together. I don't think I would have taken that. It's the fact that he came and he apologized, he cried, he did what he had to do to say sorry. It makes it better. It cuts it off. I don't want to be with her. I don't want to be with her. It's a mistake. Boo hoo hoo.
Okay.
We move on.
All right. Now, Ni, on the back of that, how can you as a man also ensure that your family is peaceful?
Oh.
Because Magdan, who is in a polygamous marriage, is like, they have their house, they have their cars, different schools and all that. So how would you handle that?
That's why I told you from the beginning that it is a very expensive venture.
Yeah.
So if you are financially sound and you want to go into it, cool deal.
That's just
if you want to have a big mansion and house all of them, cool deal.
In the same house.
Oh, some do.
Oh.
No, some do.
I didn't say, I said a mansion.
A mansion.
Both of them, or if it is three, they are there. Everybody has their, you know, and you, the man, you have your own master, whatever. So when you are supposed to go and visit this one for sex, you go there. If you are going here to eat, I mean, proper food, you go there.
Just really much. Isn't it just about sex, though?
What?
Polygamy.
Yes. Isn't it just about sex?
Oh.
Is it really, do you really want to live with two women? Is it really like the wahala that even one woman will give?
You see, yes.
Is it just not about sex?
I'm even happy you are saying a wahala, which means you know.
Yes,
women,
of course. We are very demanding.
You are wahala.
Yes.
Okay, that's nice.
I'm not an easy woman to live with. No, no way at all.
But that's not like news. Women can sometimes stress you, but even we have a very nice way of doing it.
Yes.
So, but I mean, listen.
That's something. It's just about sex, isn't it?
Listen,
isn't it?
If a house like this, if the first wife is occupying the top floor, the second wife can be down there, third wife can be somewhere here.
Jesus.
You, the man, your house is, or your room or apartment is somewhere in there.
So how are you going to share the sex timetable?
Oh, that's one of the most easiest thing one could ever script. Sex timetable.
So in a sense, you're a sex addict there, because supposing that you're having three, and Monday, Tuesday, I'm on it. Second wife is Thursday, Friday. Like it has to be every day.
If you're a rich man, if you're a rich man,
how do you even have time for that?
No, I'm coming. That's what I'm saying. If you're a rich man, you wouldn't be thinking about sex every day. Maybe once or twice a week.
Why are you keeping them?
What's the purpose of it? Then what's the purpose of having all of these wives if it's not about sex? And what is the peace of mind in that?
Peace of mind.
Yes.
There is a lot of peace of mind in that.
Really?
Yes.
In three women.
If you take everything away, listen. Do you know the kind of financial burden you've taken off these women and their families?
Caleb Niboy, Cecilia Anubani, I'm very honored for this conversation. It's been an eye-opener to me. You know, sometimes we're thinking in a woman's perspective, not considering what the men will say and stuff like that. But as I stated earlier, on Moons and Cuddles, we give the submission. We get the finest guests, share the experience, advise you, let you know what's trending in the 21st century. And then you make the decision. But it was an honor to have you on my couch.
Thank you.
The pleasure, like, you know, I'm really excited. This conversation really went well. As I said, we're going to shake tables, and mission accomplished.
Shake tables.
I did today's conversation with Caleb Niboy. He's my senior in the media space, and he's the host of Showbiz on Star.
No, but what is this senior?
One of the
Abi, are you a senior?
with media, we always say senior. See, it's just normal. Now, isn't there? And 21st century, it happens all the time. And actress Cecilia Anubani, she's one of the finest actresses we've got. That action movie that you did, is it 10 minutes now?
Yes.
It's out, right? Charlie.
Crazy movie.
Yeah,
I
she
think
was.
I watched it 3 times.
Ooh.
Because the first one I wasn't too sure what I was watching, and I had to go back and watch again, and I think I did it for the 3rd time. So for the 3rd time, I think I took a pen and pamphlet with me. I actually took some notes. I shared with Abu.
Okay.
After
I've had good reviews about the movie. I'm yet to watch it, but the title is in there.
I'm actually using this platform to actually urge corporate Ghana. Listen, we have the people here. It will go a long way. It will go a long way to for us here in Ghana. If corporate Ghana, you do come support us in the arts, because the talents are here. Look, the kind of action movies you see over there on other foreign platforms, it is being done here. Paula, you should see the movie.
It's on my list.
Look,
it's on my list.
The effects alone.
Charlie, not be that bushia where they shoot. I'm going to die.
I trained for 5 months for that as well. I trained for 5 months doing. I always say I do martial arts anyway, but we did train for 5 months with all of the stunts and everything.
Congratulations, Sissy. What's your latest movie? I know there's one in cinemas.
So there's Drops of Happiness that's out, and in October there's another one coming from Abu called The Agency.
All right. Now, do put on your social media where we can reach you.
So, okay.
Ladies first.
Ladies first. You see, 21st century man. I appreciate the ladies first. Guys, you can follow me on Instagram at Cecilia Anoban. So it's B-A-R-N, not the full Barnier, so just Barn. On Instagram. Twitter is the same. Facebook is the C-A-B Barn. Yeah. So, but come to me on Instagram, and then you can get all of the others as well.
Caleb.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah.
Caleb Niboy. Especially so when you go on Instagram, you should look out for the disappointed DJ. You would you see the
come up.
DJ. That is my handle. I do everything. I'm also a food blogger. I love food bazaar.
Invite us to eat.
Thank you very much for coming on set today. It was good having you, and I hope, and viewers too, we wish to have you back sometime soon. All right. You know, my name is Paulina Dedao Poku. It's always a pleasure coming your way. And as I said, the motto for this year is we're going to spice up our relationship. Yeah. Unless those who don't want to be kept, we just leave them, just let them be. But then the ones that we are in and we want to save, we're going to do the things right, because we've just been hearing stories and all that. Your relationship can be different, sis or brother. Thanks for doing the watching. You can follow me on social media, Paula Amabrady. Let's get interactive. See you sometime soon.